Hi, everyone, and welcome to Chair Yoga and Meditation with Julie. I've got a new name. So let's begin our transitional time by, of course, getting physically set. So you're in your good posture. You've got your, and for those of you who may be new to this practice via YouTube, I recommend a 4-inch block as a prop and just a washcloth or a hand towel to kind of have set aside for our practice on every time you join. You might want to have those things available to you. So we begin our transitional time by bringing ourselves into a place that feels like we're using good posture. You need to be forward on your chair so you're not leaning into the backrest. Forward enough that you still feel fully supported by your that your pelvis, buttocks is completely supported by the chair, but you're not leaning back into it at all. And a lot of times chairs have a little bit of an indentation back there, so we want to avoid that as well. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to use a mudra to begin. Mudra is using your hands in some way. That's primarily the definition of them. I know there's some variations of that, but it's a way of focusing. It gives you heightened awareness to a theme or a concept or your body. This one is called the Ananda Mudra. It's about joy, and its emphasis is on the inner smile. It's something I have gotten a lot from. I've learned a lot myself from it. I found a real shift in the way I experience myself within. Trying to look for a language there. Um, but this one's a good one, this inner smile, because you know how when you have a smile on your face, it brightens your mood. You usually, if it's a genuine smile, you feel lighter, you feel the happiness of that as a felt experience. So it's a simple mudra. You're going to have your pinky fingers extended, and then the other fingers are just kind of put in place or held in place with your thumb. So you just sort of gather them together, let your thumb hold that. So pinky fingers extended, and that's it. It can be held up or down on your lap, however it just seems to fit or naturally arises for you. You could hold it at your chest level like that if you're really looking for an intentional way of being in that. So this is the mudra of the inner smile, the Ananda Mudra. Close your eyes and then begin to be aware of your breath in and out, feeling your feet to the floor. So we're just starting with the real physical adjustments. I like to use the image of a wall behind you so that you're pulling the back of your head into an imaginary wall so that you feel very aligned with the crown of your head, aligning with the base of the spine or the tailbone. So you're not forward at all in your seated posture. You're very upright. Start to smooth out your breath. Just starts to smooth out. You're aware of it. And then eyes closed, if you haven't done that yet, to bring yourself into a heightened inner awareness. And it blocks out, it eliminates the stimulation that your brain has to, process when your eyes are open. So we close the eyes and it's just automatically gives the mind a little more rest. And then I want you to smile. I want you to put just the corners of your mouth turning up, however you want to do that. Maybe it's a big old toothy smile. And just feel that in your body. Feel what a smile does to the way you feel within. To me, it's kind of like illumination. It's like a light that is shining from the heart when we do that. A smile is the outward sign of inner joy. That's kind of this written word about why we would use the Ananda Mudra and have this emphasis on the inner smile. It's the outward sign of inner joy. So maybe that is cultivating joy for you. It starts with your smile, and joy arises from that. So steady that breath, nice and smooth. Hold the smile as long as you're comfortable and enjoying that as we transition now into our time and space for our yoga practice. Take a moment to set your intention for practice, your particular intention for being here today. It's always a beautiful way to acknowledge yourself that way. Very compassionate of you to take a moment and ask, what do I need today? And then really emphasize now, in terms of your breath, the exhalation. And then notice how you feel throughout that experience of exhale as we kind of wrap this up in terms of our transition. We've set our intention. And again, just how does it feel getting ready, to begin the movement? And I exhale. I'm hoping you'll feel a sense of right alignment in its broader definition. Beautiful. Now let's release our hands, soften your hands, open your eyes, and let's just open and close the hands, move your fingers around. Let's even circle at the wrist, so you're just circling around in case we got kind of held some tension in there. We want to release all that. Beautiful. Let's have arms alongside the frame of the chair. Sit up nice and tall. Again, imaginary wall. Block is between your thighs, so you're holding that kind of engagement of the inner thighs, the leg muscles. And always, we're starting off with right angles. The legs are held in a right angle, so your knees are right above your ankles. Press your feet down so you can feel your toes as well as the rest of your foot. Is it like you're trying to make an imprint there? I've got my hands facing forward, arms are real close to the body, real close to the frame of the chair. This is the mountain pose done in a seated position. Pull that belly in now. We're going to do that breathing that uses the bandha pathway, that strength of the inner core, the deepest inner core. So inhale, it feels like a little bit of a opening, expansion, better word. And on the exhale, we're pulling in and up, squeezing that block and trying to pull our way into the belly button as we exhale. So you're going to feel a lot of engagement in the belly wall, and also try to really emphasize the engagement that you're using by squeezing that block. We're going to do several rounds of this. So inhale is expanding, exhale is contracting the bandha, those locks along the perineum that pulls right up into the belly button. So I know I have to talk more than I can breathe. So I hope you're just staying consistent with the breath pattern and letting me coach you through, the intention of this, squeezing and pulling up. We have made a habit in this practice together of emphasizing toning the floor of the pelvis, toning the perineum. And this is my new method. It's more in line with the yoga tradition. It absolutely borrows from the yoga tradition, whereas we were doing a very fine and reliable technique prior to this, but I like this one, and you can always use the way we had done it before for your own use, your own personal practice. But again, this is so powerful in the yoga tradition. I was kind of, thinking, why haven't I talked about this before? So here we are, utilizing this bandha pathway. Keep going. It's a squeeze in and up. Then there's this expansion of the inhale. Exhale is the work. That's the work. Let's do 2 more breaths like that. Now on this last one, squeeze and hold, and then let your breath just return to its rhythm, but you're still squeezing and holding, squeezing in the belly, squeezing that block, squeeze and hold, breathing both in and out, squeeze and hold, breathing both in and out, and then we'll relax that. Now relax all the way. Nice. And then let's lift up. Just lifting up like you're trying to do a full body stretch. So you're pushing your feet into the floor, arms close to your head, no bend in the elbow if you can. Feels like that's what you're doing to you. You know, sometimes we have a little bend and it's like, well, that's it. I can't extend it anymore. That's what I'm talking about, that you're fully extended. You're intentional about that. It's like a full body stretch. Now try lifting your head up, lifting your head up. Let the chest really help you with that you lift your chest cavity up so you can tilt your face to lift up, look up, and bring it back to neutral. Inhale, lift up, look up. Remember, the chest cavity is helping you lift. And exhale back to neutral one more time. Inhale, lift up, look up. When we exhale, arms are going to come down. All the way through the range of motion. It's a vinyasa. Inhale up and back. Exhale down and back. So it's a long breath. We got a lot to do. Inhale, lift up and pull back. Exhale, down and back. Again, you don't need to keep up with me. I always want you to disengage from the looking at the screen as quickly as you can so that you're really present to your own practice, paying attention to how it feels for you. Keeping up with your breath. Next time you have your arms up in the air, let's hold that. Again, lift up, look up as we inhale. And as you exhale, drop your arms into the T shape where your hands, your palms are facing forward. Spread your fingers apart. Make sure you're not scrunching your shoulders up into your neck region. You just want to relax that down. And then take a look while you turn your head from one side to the other. It doesn't matter to me which way you start because it's individually motivated because we're finding out what's the range of movement in our neck right now. Keep deepening the breath so that your breath, this would be an easy spot to kind of hold your breath or forget about it because you got something else you're doing. So keep your mind on both breathing and experiencing. Great. And then let's create those goddess arms, the elbows bent, hands open. And our upper arms are held at maybe the armpit height. Open that up on your inhale. Exhale, we'll close it. When you close, you're rounding. You're rounding through the upper shoulder area. So pull back and inhale, exhale, round. Open and close. Open, close is exhale, rounding. So you should feel a lot of movement in your shoulder blades. You're drawing your shoulder blades together, then you're spreading your shoulder blades apart. Count out 3 more of these. Count out 3 more for yourself. We're going to meet in the closed position, and then we'll just interlace our hands, kind of lock them together or bind them together by interlacing your hands into like little fists. Keep those elbows together. Lift up and back down. Lift up. And this is intended to feel like a back bend, that you're lifting up and you can feel how their back body is arching. You might be breathing out of your mouth. The breath might have changed in texture and tone. So you just breathe the way that you can facilitate this. Inhale as you lifting up. Exhale down. Now take your inhale down while you're down, and then exhale as you lift up. Just explore the difference in what you prefer. Maybe inhaling in the neutral position and exhaling while you lift up has kind of, you're curious about that. You want to explore that. Last time. And then let's open that up just like a backstroke, a big wide expansion. Let's do that again. Inhale is up and just wide open. Keep your left arm alongside the frame of the chair, right arm lifts up. Get your, while it feels like you've done a little split through your body, that one arm lifting and the other one reaching down, but both are kind of busy, actively seeking that full extension. Now, because we've got this length upper that, breathe on that side of your body. Breathe on the right side. You have to do this with your imagination and your attention. So we're just going to do a quick balance of the breath, balance of the energies of the body by way of the breath, better way to say that. So breathe through this full extension. Like you want that lung to do the breathing, you want that nostril to do the breathing, you want all of this part of your body to be focused on breathing so that you're honoring that, the energy of that. Push your feet to the floor while you're doing it. So you feel very, very, securely and stabilized with this, because you're lifting up, breathing on one side of the body. Finish it up now, exhaling. And when we come down, just take that kind of like a backstroke and down. Open and close your hands as you let your body reset. Any movement, introduce any movement your body is asking for. And then we'll set it up for the other side. Full lift and lengthen the other arm alongside the frame of the chair, reaching down. Shift your breath now. Breathe on the left side of your body, left lung, left nostril. Push your feet. Maybe you look up. Maybe just naturally when you come to this, you want to look up. Great. Your body's your teacher. Full breath in and out, really emphasizing this side of the body as we honor the energy. Let's finish that breath. And when we come down again, we're just going to sweep that arm all the way back and around. Grab hold of your kneecaps. You got straight arms and you got a hold of your kneecaps. Pull the belly in, and we're going to come into cat pose. And we're going to work again on the perineum. So breathing both in and out. And ideally we slip the pulling in and using that bandha breath or bandha pathway while we're exhaling. But it's breathing in and out here. I know we usually do this in part as part of a vinyasa, just giving a little more emphasis now to the bandha path. Let's finish it up. And when you spring yourself loose, lift all the way up and all the way back into the T shape. Open up your hands wide. And then make that goddess position where we have the elbows bent and we bring those hands together. Maybe you're going to clasp hands. I like that. So we can bring this now. We're going to touch that block or touch some part of our leg all the way up and all the way down. Can you round through the back body when you're doing that? Lifting all the way up. Now there's an arch. That's the cow shape. And as you round down, you can feel the C-shaped curve of your back body. It just naturally, a tendency for me is to lift up my head and let my face lift up toward the ceiling. So again, you're finding what works well for you. But connecting this with the breath, I just felt in my own, doing this, I prefer, as it turns out, to bring my elbows right down in toward my navel and forget about the block. So you might do that too. See how that works. Couple more. Keep doing it. Just a few more times where it starts to feel like a rhythm you can really manage. No problem. Excellent. Let's come back up and around and just get out of it any way that serves you, any movement. We're going to lose the block for now. Slip it under the chair. I'd like you to pick up your cloth or your towel. Use it on the long, a length that you think was going to work for you. Just because we're going to just be using it to slip behind our back. I'm going to try to just face you and show you, but if, I might just stand up and kind of give you the back view in a moment here. So nice and tall. I think a little more space between your feet than what the block provides is a good idea. Just gives you a little wider base. And we're going to get our hand, we've just held onto the towel and it's behind you with your elbow bent and your arm is as close to your head as you can. Now don't duck. So you're going to have to move your arm to, if you just have this tendency to bring your head forward so you can do it, get your head up and then figure out how to do it with your arm. So let the arm make the adjustment instead of your head. And then we're going to reach back behind it. So now I've got my hands are holding that, so it's right behind the back and you're just holding on, one elbow up, the other one just down and tucked. And then we're going to just start doing that as a switch. So we get it all set up, we breathe, we switch. So this cloth is in the other hand. We set it up for the other side. We breathe here. I want you to get good at this so you can just kind of whip this around, find lots of movement in those shoulder blades. Hold it that, so you've set it, we've set it right in place. And then we get out of that and set it up again. So this is where we need mindfulness, where you connected your mind to the shape you've created. You've breathed with it. You've breathed into it. And you just keep adjusting, moving around. So you're making lots of movements through your shoulder blades. It's really strengthening. And it's a great range of movement to have that we want to maintain. Try one more on each side where you've held up the opposite, both arms up one more time and you're just switching it around. Great. Now, when we come out of it, let's get the cloth out front of us so it's tight. You're holding it and then that lifts up nice and tight. Try a little side to side movement. This is where you might decide to open up your feet a little wider so that you feel more secure here. So this is definitely something that you'll need to explore for yourself. How to stabilize your lower body. Encourage a little bounce where you come down and right on up. That really tones the oblique muscles when we use a little bounce with it. Speeding it up is kind of how I look at it. I just speed it up enough that there's lots of movement in that oblique toning. You go from a contraction to an extension right away. One more on each side. And we'll come back behind us. And you got nice and tight, but don't duck. Don't just hold it there, hold it there. Try to lift your elbows up. You can just kind of feel your way into it. It feels very strong, lots of engagement of those arm muscles. Breathe. And then we'll soften and release. Just soften and release. Maybe just slip it under your chair or wherever you want. Now, reset the body. Let's get our wider stance, heels in, toes out. And to reset the body, we're going to introduce this movement, very familiar to us, very fluid, circling around in your pelvic bowl. Make sure you're catching up with your breath while you do it. Stay with the same circular motion. Don't change it right away. Stay with the same circular motion for a while. Soften your face, all the muscles of the face and the mouth. And let's change the direction now. Go the other way. Smooth out the breath. Keep your elbows drawing in towards your waist. Let's meet in the middle this time. So elbows squeezing into the waist. I'm going to turn a little bit. You will not. You don't need to. And we've got our elbows squeezed into the waist, creating a diagonal line of the back body. Press your feet to the floor. It's like you're just about ready to stand up. You've just shoved all your weight into your legs. You're just about ready to stand up, but you hold it instead. You're in a squat now, so you can really feel the engagement of your legs. Press your feet down. I want you to try to feel like you've engaged your calves as well as the thighs. The thighs, you can really feel that. It's a half lift diagonal line of the back body. Let's bring ourselves upright. And then let's just do a little shrug and release. All right, hands are going to just touch on the shoulders, just a light touch with fingers. Elbow is going to touch the same side leg, but we're going to lift the leg to help. So it's a lift up. Flex that foot. When your leg is popping up, you want to have a flex foot coming up. Again, what you could do as more challenge is to pick up the pace. Nice and easy, works well too. So don't ever, you're just curious what might give you the challenge or the adjustment that you prefer. Let's crisscross now. So now we're going to bring that leg up and we have to use the other elbow. Crisscrossing in the front of our chest there. Still keep that foot lifting up, and it's a flexed foot that lifts. Stay with it. Don't forget to breathe. I bet you'd be breathing in and out of your mouth right now. That makes sense. You don't need to make any correction to that unless it feels like you do, but it's not like you're doing something wrong. Last time, when we release it, do that very mindfully. Let your arms reach out. Let them just come on down alongside the frame of the chair. And you can feel that letting go in your body. All that letting go. Again, let's circle that out. Deepen the breath for yourself. Change the direction right away. A little reset. And when you come back to center, let's find our Ananda Mudra. The pinky fingers stick out. We kind of folded all the rest of the fingers down and we've got a hold of them with our thumb. I'm going to say we hold that out. We've got let's get those elbows up. Yeah, we've got our elbows held at armpit height. We're going to hold that. And close your eyes so you can really remember, what were our idea. Maybe you smile. You close your eyes. You put that inner smile into your body. The energy of the smile just starts to flood through you. Keep your hands in the mudra now as your eyes open back up. And we're going to open and close here. Inhale, open, pull back. Lots of movement in the shoulder blades today. Round through those shoulder blades when you bring it into the closed position. Last time, when we open up, we'll release the mudra. Play the piano with your fingers and hands are moving, wrists are spinning around a bit, all the way down. Let's get our legs within hips distance, so you're definitely within the frame of the chair. Straight arms, straight legs. Lift up those straight arms, straight leg out to kick. This is done vinyasa. Inhale up, exhale, give it that straight leg out. Pace is associated with your breath, your rhythm of breath. So don't match up with me. Match up with your breath. Straight arms, straight legs, vinyasa style. Do one more where with each kick, make sure you've got both sides done one more time. We come up and we're in our full body stretch. Now get your feet tucked under you a little bit because arms are going to stay up. We're going to lift ourselves up and all the way down. Have that seat. So it's kind of a movement like you're letting your arms circle around, bringing yourself from seated to standing. One more time. We're going to meet standing up all the way down with the arms. I'm going to encourage you to get your block back into service here. Use it to place between your lower legs so your shins have to draw in. Soften your knees a bit. Now remember a third root that we can access, that you're squeezing your block a little bit. You can feel that your feet are creating a root each side. We need a third root. That's going to be your tailbone. So I want you to imagine your tailbone. It kind of has to tuck a little bit. You might have a real arch in your back body, and I want you to tuck down a little bit so you can grow the root of your tailbone as a third way of stabilizing here. Let's put our hands back to that mudra. Pinky extends. Fold your fingers together. Arms alongside your body in our mountain pose. Tuck that tailbone as a root. Feel your feet to the floor. So you feel the action. Your legs feel like they're doing a lot of work here. Full breath in and out. Let's include the full body experience of our breath. Inhale as you ascend your breath up through the front of your body to the crown of the head. Exhale as you descend that breath down the back side of your body. Eyes closed work best for me, but if that's not comfortable for you, you find what is. Full body experience of breathing with those super strong legs and the inner smile of the mudra, creating joy or experiencing it. Awesome. Let's release all that. Again, just kind of shake that out of your hands. Inhale up with me. Look up. Palms are together. Exhale, bow at your heart. Inhale up. And exhale, come all the way down. We can lose the block for now. That's just a nice engagement. And then we're really going to work the legs. So you might position yourself near your chair in some way that just kind of gives you the assurance that it's there. I'm not necessarily, at least at the beginning, we're not going to use it intentionally. It's just there to support you if you need it. So let's begin by lifting our heels up so our toes are holding us and then we're down. I'll turn to the side. I don't know if you need that, but just feeling, like that. And then we're going to get the arms involved. So maybe you lift up and you find how it balances best. How can you swing your arms that gives you the balance you're looking for as you go from flat foot to heels up? It's like your Barbie foot shows up. You got your heels up high. Don't forget to breathe. Lifting up. So again, holding onto the chair might be just the ticket. You absolutely are going to hold on to that. Couple more. Good. Now let's just keep our right foot where it is and step our left foot back. And again, we've got the heel up just on the left side. The right knee is going to bend occasionally, but let's make our emphasis. What we're trying to work on is the back leg. So yeah, if that front knee bends to accommodate this, okay, but the emphasis is back leg. And again, I'm going to try to use my arms to balance me, but you've always got the chair. So do just that again, where you get up onto the toe. You've got your Barbie foot on the back foot, and then you drop the heel down. Maybe your arms are kind of moving with that. Maybe you're simply holding onto the chair to steady yourself. So the emphasis is on the back leg as you lift that heel up and down. Now find your breath so it's smooth. And let's get both feet together, kind of shake that out. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So left foot stays forward, right foot is back. Remember, we're now, the back leg is what we're really working on. Toes down, heels up. And then we're going to start dropping the heel and lifting it back up. So it feels like all this movement is the back leg. The front leg does have to make some adjustments, but your emphasis is on the felt experience of that back leg. I'd like you to try to get your arms in motion here, finding how your arms could balance you or challenge you. Stay with it. Full breath in and out. Let's press and hold that heel down. Good. And then let's get those feet back together and kind of shake that out. If it works for you where you've got yourself positioned, hands to the chair seat. Let's stretch it out into a downward facing dog. Hands are on the chair seat. You're walking back. Get your arms right alongside your head. You can feel your arms skimming right past your ears. Pull your chin in towards your throat. Now do it again, where one at a time, you let the heel lift up. So they've always called this walking the dog, while you lift one heel at a time. Now I want your emphasis to be on the push down. When you're bringing one foot to the floor, you're pushing down, and that's what you're really emphasizing in terms of your personal awareness. Pushing down one at a time. Find your breath. You need a nice strong breath, like always. Take this at a pace that works for you. A couple more now. Press down. Chin pulls in toward the throat. Let's start walking toward our chair. Keep your, the roundness of your back as you walk toward the chair. Now, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, bring yourself to an upright position. Go nice and easy. Keep your head down, down, down. And then finally, you lift up. A technique that I don't always remember to share. Sometimes we get up and we're feeling a little lightheaded. A good adjustment to make right at that point is to draw your chin in towards your throat and then let your body, it's just another way that you're helping your body make that adjustment in terms of blood pressure. So pulling the chin in toward your throat if you start to feel a little dizzy or lightheaded. Good. Let's be next to the chair with our leg that you got plenty of room alongside you. So the chair, the leg near the chair is your standing leg. Flex and extend is what we're coming to now. I'm going to make sure I've got enough room behind me. So it's just a movement of flex and extension. Try to keep your leg flowing in a, real close to the midline. It's not just sailing anywhere. You're trying to keep it very focused right within the width of your hips. Now add a little butt kick. So when you're coming back, I want you to try to bend the knee, and you won't kick your butt. I can't imagine, maybe you do, but that you go up, then you're just trying to really bend the knee and pull it back. So it's much more forceful on that back movement. So like you're trying to kick your butt. Excellent. High knee now. Hold that high knee. Get situated so you can balance on the standing leg without the use of the chair. Let's find our mudra. Pinky fingers extends. We fold our other fingers together and let our thumb hold it. High knee holds. Breathe. Breathe. Whoop. And exhale it all out. Excellent. Let's come to the other side. Flex and extend. Standing leg is near the chair, should be on your other leg now. The other leg is moving. Starts with just the movement, forward and back, and then we'll do the butt kick in a little bit. This too, you might try it with as little touch of the chair as you can, just to start really focusing on the steadiness that your body offers you. All right, let's add that butt kick. So now when we pull back, we're really trying to pull back and bring our heel as close to the butt as it can go. It's just a more forceful pull. Bet you're feeling that in your thigh. Kick the butt. High knee. Steady. Find your mudra, pinky finger. You know, you could always have one hand on the chair. Firm up your belly wall. Pull in there. Get real strong with the belly wall. Excellent. Let's come down. Bring both feet to the floor. Shake that out. We're going to use the back of the chair to finish this up. L shape. Stretch out into the L shape. Arms are close to your head, but you're really creating a hinge just at the hip socket. That's it. No kind of rounding of the back. Not adding another hinge somewhere along the spine. Make it just that hip socket. Push your feet to the floor so you can really feel you're efforting in straightening your legs. And what's it feel like when you're really efforting that? Like, how strong do you feel in your calves and your ankles, for example? Belly wall nice and tight within the body. That's going to be a great source of stabilization. Draw your chin towards your throat. Find that breath. Find those strong legs as you try to do this with as little bend in the knee as possible. Start walking toward the chair. Take your time. Keep your head down. Make your way upward, right? Just take your time. Make that adjustment. Let's find our mountain pose. Make sure your feet are straight. We're finding the mudra once again. Grow that root of the tailbone. Imagine your block is between your legs in some way. Where does that serve you best? When you feel it through your inner thighs? Or you kind of like that idea of the shins pulling in? What gives you a better sense of strength here? Growing that third root of the tailbone. Where's that wall? Where's that imaginary wall? Can you make sure your head is held right against it? Close your eyes if you can. Breathe all the way through your body. Let's open the eyes, release your mudra, and take a wider step. Heels in, toes out, a little wider stance. One hand is going to glide down your pant leg, the other arm is going to reach up, and you're going to do a side bend, but keeping your hand on your leg. It's just a way of keeping this unity, this experience of connection, upper body to lower body. Now, sometimes it works better for people that they can do it as a come and go, going into it, coming out of it, or fold and hold, whatever suits you. A little bit of both, maybe. Remember how we turn our head a particular way to line up our ears? So be very mindful of the way you're conducting the weight of your head. When we come out of it, that top arm is going to lift us all the way up. Let's do some shoulder rolls or movements to reset the upper body. Side two. Remember, can you keep your hand connected to your leg? Don't rest at it. I should have mentioned it. We don't want to put pressure on the knee joint. So that's not someplace you're going to camp out with that touch of the hand. Somewhere else on your leg. Again, come and go, or fold and hold. managing the weight of your head, feeling your way into a full breath in and a full breath out. Use that upper arm to bring you out of it. Let's get both hands together up and overhead. Look up. Inhale. Exhale, bow at your heart. Inhale up. Exhale, go all the way down. I'm going to turn toward the chair so I have it as a touchstone, but you may not need to, but it also gives you a side view. So however you position, this is for chair pose. That's that squatty position. So feet are just hips distance apart. You feel like you're going to sit in a chair. You're starting to squat down, pulling your body weight away from your knees. And then arms can extend out in front of you, palms face each other. Hands might be at the prayer position right at your heart. So find your body weight sinking back towards your heels, much more so than in the direction of your knees. And push your feet down, push your feet so you really feel strong in those legs. One more breath. Let's come up. And take a circle of those arms to come out. A couple of those feel pretty good. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale it out of your mouth. Ah. The breath of joy. Inhale. Inhale some more. Inhale. Ha. Inhale. Inhale. Inhale and ha. Ha. One more. Ha. Awesome. All right, let's find our Shavasana. Find yourself in your chair now for meditation time. It's really important that we honor our need for comfort while we are in our. So if we're putting up with something, we found a way to sit, but it's not quite right, we will not accomplish what we're shooting for here. That will be a distraction on some level, and we don't want that. So bring yourself into a position that just feels very supportive, very loving, very kind to yourself. And get the support. Lean into that chair. You've got nothing to prove that you're somehow going to still, really stay at attention here. No, we're trying to bring ourselves into a place of surrender, surrendering the body's weight into the chair or the sofa or the lounge chair or the second chair you grab so that you can elevate your feet. So even as I begin to lead us through a guided meditation, if you're not quite set up, I'm just going to keep going and you'll join in when you've got yourself set up. It's hard for me to know how to time it. So I'm going to just begin for some of you who are ready to settle into the relaxation that the surface below you provides. So you acknowledge that support, that steadiness. Eyes closed for sure. If you're comfortable, please close your eyes. Relax your hands into your lap. Don't let them just dangle in the air like alongside the frame of the chair. They have to work, whether you didn't really notice that or not, but your arms have to be engaged to do that. And we'd rather they not be. So just let them rest on your lap or some way that they are also able to fully relax. See if you can breathe in and out through your nose. If that doesn't quite do it for you, try in through the nose, out through the mouth. That would be an alternative. So you just feel yourself slowing down. Again, another transitional time, right? Slowing down. Full breath in and out, slowing down. Feeling the support of the chair and how all of your body is now supported. All of your body can rest. See if you can imagine yourself instead of in your head, I think most of us would say that you're located in your head. If somebody pressed, an answer, give me an answer. Where do you locate yourself in your body? Let's locate ourselves in the center of our chest, which yoga tradition calls the heart center. So imagine that you're able to breathe in and out from that heart center. You've kind of disregarded the function of the lungs and instead energetically move to the awareness of the breath as a function of the heart center, both in and out. And that breath is located in your heart at the center of your body. Maybe you feel expansion and then you feel some release. Soften the mouth, relax your tongue, breathe through the heart. Let's take that inhale at the heart center, but let the exhale drop all the way to your pelvis. Inhale up from the pelvis into the heart center as it expands. Exhale all the way down to the pelvis. That pelvic bowl. So now you're connecting the heart center with the pelvic bowl. The pelvic bowl is associated with rootedness or grounding, stabilization, safety. Heart to pelvis, pelvis back to heart. A few more breaths like that. Relax into it. Notice what you notice. You don't need to conjure up anything particular, just noticing. Inhale through your heart center. Bring that exhalation all the way down to your legs, into your feet. Inhale from the soles of the feet back up to the heart center. So it's going to elongate the breath. Got to use your imagination here. We're going to kind of reverse the direction of our breath. Inhale through the heart, but land again in your pelvis. Inhale is through the heart center. The exhale takes us all the way into the pelvic bowl again. Inhale through the heart center and exhale right there as well. Keep your breath moving in and out at your heart center. And this time, let's layer our hands on top of the chest bone, palm over palm, holding where we can touch the breath as it moves in and out from the heart center. Your hands are an extension of your heart energetically. Your hands are an extension of the energy of the heart center. Makes sense, doesn't it? Our touch, our loving touch, is often part of the way that our heart expresses itself. This is for you. This experience of loving energy held is for you. Soften your body into that experience. Hold your hands as an embrace at their heart center, only as long as it feels good and right for you. If it's tiring you in any way, just relax your arms back to your lap. Listen for your heart. Listen for the breath as it moves through the heart center. Listen for it. Next time you exhale at your heart center, draw the inhale all the way up to the crown of the head and let it exhale back into the heart center. Inhale from the heart to the crown of the head. Exhale back into your heart center. Every time your breath meets your heart, let's find that inner smile. So if you choose to return to the mudra to kind of help you out, great. Or you just simply add the little corners of the mouth turning up and shaping a smile on your face. So making, kind of tying that together. The breath is moving up to the crown of the head as you inhale, and it settles back into the heart as you exhale, and you've invited the inner smile along the way. That's for you too. That inner joy, lightheartedness, that's for you. Beautiful job, everybody. Let's take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth like a big sigh. Ah, at least a couple more of those. Big cleansing breath in through the nose and a big sigh out. Ah. We need to get our feet back to the floor. So if you're in a reclined position, let's start making our way to right alignment where we've got our feet to the floor and we're holding ourselves in good posture. Beautiful. Now we're going to sync up our breath one last time. Inhale with me, palms will come together and look up. Exhale, bow at the heart. Inhale, back up. And exhale, let's share this joy as a blessing to our communities. Let's share that joy as a blessing to the community. Palms will come together at the heart. We bow to ourselves and we also bow to each other. Namaste, my friends. Thanks for joining me today.